The Evans Family Law Group, providing a full spectrum of family law services.
Another way of establishing paternity, besides DNA testing and besides consent by the parties, is that an alleged father can sign a document in Texas that's known as an acknowledgement of paternity. The acknowledgement of paternity is a special kind of document that gets filed with our Bureau of Vital Statistics here. And after a certain period of time passes, it's as if the courts have legally established and declared through a court order that that alleged father is in fact the father for all legal purposes of that child. So
let's say the classic example of paternity designation and signature.
So let me talk about, you want me to talk about rescinding an acknowledgement of paternity?
You didn't mention birth certificate. I think you should throw that out there.
But that has nothing to do with it.
Acknowledgement of paternity, then.
So let me address that then.
DNA testing or anything? The guy just says, yeah, it's me.
Let me address that. Under the law in Texas, when a child is born during a marriage, the presumption is that the husband is the father of the child. And because of that presumption, there's nothing further that has to be done in order to establish the parent-child relationship for all legal purposes between the husband, or the father in that case, and the child. But if in fact there's an issue there, and he's not in fact the father, you have to establish paternity in other ways. Now you have examples of that. All right. On the street, one of the most classic ways that people think that they've established paternity is that they've put the name of an alleged father on the birth certificate. Unfortunately, that is a very common misconception in Texas. Anybody's name could appear on the birth certificate. If you're not married, and when you go to the hospital, or if the hospital is unaware of your marriage, then the mother can put anybody's name, any man's name, on the birth certificate as being the father. That is some evidence of the consent or the agreement of the mother to acknowledge that that man may in fact be the father, but for all legal purposes that does nothing to establish the father or parent-child relationship. The courts would still require either the formal acknowledgement of paternity and allow the requisite time periods to pass. We'll discuss that in a minute. Or you have to go and get the DNA testing and establish through DNA, biologically, that he is in fact the father. With that, then the courts can in fact declare for all legal purposes that the man, or the alleged man or alleged father is in fact the father, and establish the parent-child relationship. But the birth certificate in and of itself does nothing to establish that.
When life's path takes an unplanned turn, call the Evans Family Law Group for a consultation at 628-2550. The Evans Family Law Group, providing a full spectrum of family law services.